Yo, good morning. Peace was good. Welcome to my CD collection. This is part 91. I thought I'd just do this one real quick before I go to work. You know what I mean? Because I had to go in at 12:30, so it's 10:42 a.m. So without further ado, let me start off with the first CD of the morning or the video, and it is Lil' Kim's second album, Notorious K.I.M. Released in 2000. Everybody in their mother should know who Lil' Kim is. You know, she was, the queen bitch or the queen bee, queen bee of Junior Mafia. She, was part of Junior Mafia. At one point, I think she still is. I'm not sure. And then, in 1996, she dropped her first debut album, Hardcore, which is a hip hop classic. I don't care what nobody says. It's a very, very dope album. And, that album got critical acclaim and stuff like that. And, around the same time, Foxy Brown had dropped Il Na Na, which is another dope album. And the reason why I bring that up is because her and Lil' Kim, are very similar as far as rapping and, subject matter and stuff like that. But I think Lil' Kim's a little bit more raunchier than Foxy Brown. And then, right after that, she appeared on, appearances and stuff like that. And, she started recording this album right here. Originally, she was supposed to call this album Queen Bitch. But then, I guess, during the recording of this album, she, she felt Biggie's spirit and stuff like that. And she wanted to pay homage to Biggie. So this is why she called it Notorious K.I.M. Originally, this album was supposed to drop back in 1999, but unfortunately, unlike other albums like Nas I Am and Murda music and stuff like that, albums like that, it fell victim to heavy bootlegging. For these like Napster, like Kazaa, and like Morpheus, and like the file sharing websites or programs at the time, you know what I mean? And because of that, the album leaked, so she had to record new songs and stuff like that. So, and that's why the album took a little bit long to come out. It was supposed to come, like I said, in '99, but it never came out until 2000. So, and the album here today is the Remixed album, whatever. But it only has 2 singles off the album. The singles are How Many Licks featuring Cisco. I mean, that song became so big back in the day. And no matter what, what was it? No matter what they say, like that was my shit. That beat was dope. But yeah, that was the single off the album. I remember Hot 97 used to play that shit like so many times. Like that was a dope song. The overall verdict of this album, it's good, but it's not as good as the first album, obviously. But it definitely got some dope joints, though. I'm gonna lie, I kind of shitted on this album. I kind of I didn't give the album a chance. You know what I mean? Like, I only heard like one. Well, obviously the songs that I just mentioned, but I heard like one song that I really like, which is an On Dot, and I just like that song. I didn't really give the rest of the albums a chance. But it definitely got some decent joints on here, you know what I mean? It definitely has like more of like a, I don't say an R&B feel, but it has like a more lighter feel compared to hardcore. But yeah, it's a decent album. It's not her best album, but it's pretty good. It's better than her album that she dropped back in 2005, Naked Truth. I didn't really care for that album, and that shit got 5 mics. Why, I don't know. And this is a lot better than Foxy Brown's Trying to Do album that she dropped back in '99. That album was horrendous. I just listened to that album the other day, just to give it another chance, and nah, it wasn't good at all. But yeah, Lil' Kim with Notorious K.I.M, released in 2000. Next album was a blind buy for me. Don't know who this guy is, but I bought it just on the strength of Be Legit and Sugar Free, and this guy is called Big Trell. No Receipt, No Return, Dues Paid, released in 2002. That's actually a dope title. Yeah, man. Not bad. He has like a very unique voice, if that makes sense. He has a very unique voice, kind of high pitched in a sense. But then I don't know, 'cause it seemed like it's two people that's rapping in each song. I don't know. I gotta re-listen to the song again, but I don't know. It just no, it's because I guess because it's Be Legit and Sugar Free, so they're on all the songs. So Big Trell, you know, have like the high pitched voice and stuff like that. So, but yeah, decent album, got some decent joints and stuff like that. I do not know the name of the singles, but it's pretty decent. It's pretty cool. This is the only album that he ever dropped that I know of. I don't know if anybody knows of Big Trell, if he dropped any more material out. You know what I mean? But yeah, pretty decent. Big Trell, no receipts, no return, dues paid, released in 2002. Next album I've been trying to find for years. Was not able to find it for a while, but I finally found it. Thank God. And it is Boogie Down Productions with their live album, Live Hardcore Worldwide, released in 1981. This is a must-own for all hip-hop heads, especially KRS-One fans. This is pretty much, you know, him performing live with, you know, all the Boogie Down Production songs from the first 4 albums. Like some of them, not all of them, but just the more popular ones and stuff like that. And as well as some like new exclusive tracks that's on no albums that he just recorded just for the concerts and stuff like that. Which is one thing I like about live albums, is that they'll play like, you know, some of the album cuts, but then they'll play like exclusive songs that you won't hear anywhere else unless you buy the live album, which is what I like. You know, it's things like that. You know, you got songs like Jack of Spades, which was on the ghetto music blueprint of hip hop, which to me was their weakest album out of the discography. That's just my opinion. So pretty much the songs that he's recorded, that he's performing live from the first 4 albums was Criminal Minded, By All Means Necessary, the ghetto music blueprint of hip hop, which in my opinion, like I said before, is the weakest album, and Edutainment, which one of my favorite albums from them. But yeah, this was released in 1981, hip hop classic, dope album. This is long out of print, but it shouldn't be too expensive to find. But it shouldn't be too expensive to get. You know, you get it for like $4, $5, or whatever, but it's usually very cheap. So, but I'm glad to own it. You know what I mean? Been trying to get this album for a while, so I finally have all Boogie Down Production albums. Even though I have all the albums, I have all 5. And with Sex and Violence was another dope underrated album. There's a lot of people like to shit on, but I like that album. I thought it was a dope album. But yeah, eventually I'll have to do a review on all the Boogie Down Production albums and stuff like that. But yeah, Boogie Down Productions, Live Hardcore Worldwide, released in 1991. Next album, or EP I should say, next project. I've been looking for a while, been trying to find it, finally found the shit, and it is P Rock and CL Smooth's All Sold Out EP, released in 1991. Been trying to find this for years, could not find it. It's hard to find, at least where I'm at. But yeah, this is pretty much a warm up to their first album, Mecca and the Soul Brother, which I did a review on, I think last year or the year before. But I did a review on the first 2 albums, or the only 2 albums that they ever dropped. Did a review on that. I eventually would have to do a review on this, and I have to do a review on Pete Rock's Soul Survivor, which I have in the stash and stuff like that. But the singles off the album are The Creator, dope song right there. I think Good Life was a single, and Mecca and his Soul Brother. I think those were the singles of the album, but I know The Creator was definitely the single of the album. I think Good Life was a single too. I could be wrong. Let me double check. I think Creator was the single of this album, but very, very dope EP though. Very, very dope. I fucks with this shit right here. Yeah, man. If you guys want to know how P-Rock and CL Smooth sounded like back in 1990 to 1991, then this is the project to check out. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen my reviews for P-Rock and CL Smooth's Mecca and the Soul Brother and Main Ingredient, definitely check those out. My opinion, Main Ingredient is my favorite album out of the two. That's just my opinion. I think that's their best album. Production wise, they were more mature, like the samples that he used. Pete Rock, he stepped his game up on the production. Even though on Mecca and the Soul Brother, he went crazy on that album. But yeah, man, fucking Pete Rock, he's that dude, man, very, very dope. But this is Pete Rock and CL Smooth with All Sold Out EP released in 1991. All right, next album, you know, I copped was more like not a blind buy, but it was just like I just bought it off the whim, you know, because I'm a big fan of like compilation albums and stuff like that. So, and it is Salt-N-Pepa with their Blitz of Salt-N-Pepa hits and the hits remixed, released in 1990. So this is pretty much a compilation album of songs from their first 3 albums, like their more popular songs that they pretty much remixed and stuff like that. You had producers from like the UK as well as like you know, some US producers like Herbie Lovebug, DJ Mark, 45 King, you know, people like that and things like that. So, and some like UK producers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this was okay. It had some decent stuff. You know, it had like that house hip hop feel to it, which was pretty popular back in the early 90s to late 80s to early 90s, which was pretty popular. Had that techno feel, that house feel, things like that. You know, it got some like, you know, some boom bap in here too, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it was pretty decent. I know this is out of print, but for a Salt-N-Pepa fan, if you guys like Salt-N-Pepa, this is definitely recommended. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really follow Salt-N-Pepa like that, so I don't know what their best album is. I haven't really heard of Salt-N-Pepa album. To be honest with you, I know it's like, what the fuck, you a hip hop head, you never heard of Salt-N-Pepa album? I don't really follow them like that. I know they're fine as shit, but you know, I don't really follow their music like that. Their music didn't really capture me like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is Salt-N-Pepa, a blitz of Salt-N-Pepa hits, the hits remix, released in 1990. Oh, and by the way, forgot to mention that they released this album back in 2014. It's a digipack. Comes with bonus tracks. So I think it's like 2 remix songs and like an instrumental to I think 2 of the songs. I think Creator and the Mecca and the Soul Brother. I think that, and I think it was Good Life. But I know they came out with a deluxe edition or you know, a reissue of this album back in 2014. So I thought I'd just throw that out there. I forgot to mention that. Next album, it's an album that I already have, but you know, again, I'm a completist, so I like to have the actual CD case and the booklet and the CD and all that shit. And it is Mobb Deep's Murda Music, released in 1999. Everybody and their mother should know who Mobb Deep is. Everybody knows I'm a big Mobb Deep fan. Excuse me, I'm a big Mobb Deep fan. So, you know, this album was like my introduction to Mobb Deep. You know, I remember my boy Aaron had this CD, and he had the boot. I don't know if he had the bootleg or no. I think he had the bootleg. He didn't have the original pressing. But yeah, this was my introduction to Mobb Deep and stuff like that. I mentioned this before. If you guys haven't seen the Mobb Deep introduction video that I did last year, definitely check that out. I go more into depth about my love for Mobb Deep and stuff like that. But anyways, this is their 4th album. This was released in 1999. There's a couple singles of the album. The singles are Quiet Storm, It's Mine featuring Nas, and USA I Then. Dope song right there. USA I Then, that was like more of an underground single, but that was a single. It's why there was no video for that song, but it's pretty cool. This was another album that suffered heavy bootlegging, because originally this album was supposed to drop back in 1998, but because of, you know, Napster, you know, people bootlegging the album, you know, the album leaked, so they had to scrap the original version of the album and redo all the songs and stuff like that. So you get brand new songs. I know Quiet Storm was part of it, but it was actually called White Lines. That song was actually it was a Prodigy solo track. You know what I mean? And I remember the song wasn't really mixed, and then, you know, the song, you know, he gave it to DJ Clue. He played a tunnel, and people loved it. You know what I mean? It was just really raw, gritty quality. You can find that song on YouTube. I'm saying someone I loved. Yeah, you can find that song on YouTube. So, but yeah, very, very dope album. Very underrated in my opinion. I know a lot of people kind of hate on this album, you know, because this was, I don't want to say it was more commercial, but it was like more. It was like their more mainstream album, but it wasn't commercial by all means. It still had that Mobb Deep feel to it, but it is definitely a lot more polished compared to the first three albums. Even though Hell on Earth was a little bit polished too, but it was just grimy and dark. You know what I mean? I always profess my love for Hell on Earth, but getting back to this album, fucking love this album. I think this is a very dope album. I don't care what nobody says. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. You know, there's people, you either love this album or you hate this album. Oh, stupid fucking Amber Alert. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's an Amber Alert, so, you know, when you get the Amber Alert, you know, my phone gets the shit, so I'm pretty sure, you know, where you live at, you get that shit too, so I apologize about that. But yeah, Murda Music by Mobb Deep, released in 1999. I would love for Mobb Deep to put out, you know, I heard a lot of the songs that were supposed to be on the album. You know, you could hear a lot of those songs on the Mobb Misses, the first two Mobb Misses mixtapes by J Love, and you can also hear it on the infamous Archives album that dropped in 2007, that was released unofficially. I think I have an idea who released it, but I'm not gonna slander this dude's name because, you know, I have respect for him. But, you know, but yeah, Murda Music by Mobb Deep, released in 1999, very dope. But I would love Mobb Deep to release like the unreleased songs, put them in CD quality and put them shits out. So, all right, next album was a blind buy. Well, it's not a blind buy, but I just picked it up because it was $5. So, and it is Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, released in 1988. This is their debut album. This is the 2000 repressing. I thought this was like the original pressing, but it's not. This is the 2000 re-release version, the reissue, or 2000 pressing, I should say. There's a couple singles off the album. It Takes Two, Joy and Pain, Get on the Dance Floor, and Keep It. I think Keep It Going Now, I think was a single too. I could be wrong. It Takes Two, Get on the Dance Floor, Joy and Pain, and Crush. Those are the 4 singles off the album. Rest in peace to DJ Easy Rock. He died of complications of diabetes. So yeah, rest in peace to him, man. Right after this album dropped, they were kind of going through some like financial situations due to the fact that, you know, Joy and Pain, they kind of went through sample clearance issues with that. They couldn't clear the sample. So yeah, they something about clearing the sample. It was a Franklin and Beverly Mays album, Mays and Frank Beverly sample that they couldn't clear or whatever, or they sampled but they didn't get permission. So that kind of took a strain with the group, and because of that, you know, Easy Rock kind of left the group, and you know, Rob Bass dropped a second album. I think it was called The Incredible. I think it was called. But that didn't do too well and stuff like that. And but I think Easy Rock did some production on that album. But then 5 years later, back in 1994, they dropped an album called Break It Dawn. which they came back together. But you know, it wasn't successful. I didn't really hear the album, so I couldn't tell you how the album sounds like. If anybody knows how Break It Dawn sounds, let me know how that sounds. But this was okay. It wasn't too bad. I got some decent stuff. But yeah, Rob Banks and Easy Rock, Takes Two, released in 1988. All right. Next album is Cocteau Twins with Bluebell Knoll, released in 1988. Fucking love Cocteau Twins. In a nutshell, if you guys like The Cure, then you'll definitely enjoy this. You'll definitely enjoy this group right here. You know what I like about their music is it is atmospheric, it's dark, and it has like a really dreamy feel to it. You know, they have like a certain name to that. There's like an actual genre of that, and it's called shoegazing, and they're kind of like the pioneers of that genre. You know what I mean? Because you know, when the singer, I forgot her name, when she sings, you know, her vocals has like a very dreamy, uses a lot of reverb in the vocals and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It has like a really dreamy effect, which is why it's called dream pop, shoegazing. So that's why it has that sound and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty dope album. You know, I really like it. Definitely need to get their other albums, but that shit is very hard to come by, very hard to find. So, but I found this shit. Cocteau Twins, Bluebell Knoll, released in 1988. Glad to own this album, but I have a little gripe with it, and it is too short when his third solo album, full-length album, titled Short Dogs in the House, released in 1990. Too Short, you guys should know who Too Short is, one of the pioneers of West Coast hip hop, you know, reps Oakland to the fullest, you know what I mean? There's 2 singles off the album. The singles are The Ghetto, Pretty Big, and Short But Funky. This is released in 1990, like I said before. This is the edited version. And I didn't realize that because, like I said, I don't really follow Too Short like that. But there were a couple songs that were supposed to be on this album, like songs like Punk Bitch, a song called Ain't Nothing But a Word featuring Ice Cube, which is on here. But well, Punk Bitch is not on this album, but Ain't Nothing But a Word to Me featuring Ice Cube. That song, when you hear the original version, the explicit version, curse words after curse words after curse words, which I fucking love, because I love dirty hip hop. I love my curses. I love the expletives. I think that's how you say it, and stuff like that. But on this song, on this album, this version, it's edited. So every 5 seconds, you hear beep, 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 making the song fucking unbearable to listen to. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I didn't like that, man. I didn't really like that shit, man. But dope album. Just gotta find the original version of it. Just gotta find the original pressing. Again, I got this at FYE. I got it for like $6.99. So I'm assuming like, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna get, you know, the dirty version and stuff like that. Cause you gotta remember, back in the early '90s, a lot of albums didn't really get the parental advisory explicit content until like around like the later '90s, like the mid '90s. You know, they didn't really get that title. You know what I mean? I mean, you did get some albums that had that title, but I mean that label, but it was very rare to find that. You know what I mean? Like some albums, some hot hip hop albums were explicit, but they didn't have the title. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, pretty dope album. I actually enjoyed this album, but I'll definitely need to get my hands on the original pressing with the curses and stuff like that. And again, this is, you know, I got played with the same shit with when I copped the his 1992 album, Shorty the Pimp album, but the version I got was actually called Shorty the Player. You know what I mean? So that pisses me off, you know what I mean? But yeah, Too Short, Short in the House, Shorts in the House, Short Dogs in the House, released in 1990. Then, glad to own this version. I've been trying to get this album, well, this version of the album for a while. And it is Snoop Dogg's Doggystyle, the original pressing, 1993 pressing, released in 1993. What makes this album special, this version of the album special, is that it has the G's Up, Hoes Down song that was cut off the reissued version because of the sample clearances. And I got so hyped when I found this the other day because I saw this joint right here, the next episode featuring Dr. Dre, and I told Mike Sears about it on Facebook. Like, yo, I found this shit, found it, so happy, because he said that he also has this version of the album, but he was saying that it was a misprint. I was like, oh fuck no. I was hoping that he was wrong, but he was right. It is a misprint. So because even the track listing is fucked up because there were some songs that the way it was track listed, the songs didn't follow the sequence, so which kind of pissed me off because, for example, Pump Pump is actually the last song of the album, but Pump Pump is like it's like the third to the last song, so it's fucked up. So it's like a misprint on the man. So it was a manufacturing error, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, Snoop Dogg, Doggystyle. This is the original pressing. Glad to own this joint right here. And the next episode is not on the album. You can hear that song on YouTube, but the quality of the song is really bad. It uses the Les McCann sample, the Don't Go On and Cry sample, but they couldn't clear that sample, so it's not on here unfortunately. But yeah, very dope album, classic album. You guys already know. Alright, Doggystyle by Snoop Dogg, released in 1993. Last but not least, Lost Boyz with Legal Drug Money, released in 1996. This is an album I already have, but I lost the case, so I had to go cop this album. Someone has 5 singles. That's unheard of, especially around that time. The Yearn, Music Makes Me High, Jeeps, Slugs, Coupes, Beamers, and Benz, Lifestyles in the Rich and Shameless, and Get Up. Those are the singles of the album. Fucking love this album. This is a Queen's classic right here. Fucking love this album. Recipes to Free Guitar, big loves to hip hop, especially Queens in general. Who's Spig Nice? Hold your head up, man. He's currently serving 7 years in prison. 37 years in prison for robbery. So which kind of sucks. But yeah, glad to own this album. Fucking love this album. I would definitely have to do a review on all 3 albums. I already have all 3 of them now. I have Legal Drug Money, I have Love, Peace, and Happiness, and I have the LB for Life albums. I have to do a review on those albums. But yeah, Lost Boyz with Legal Drug Money, released in 1996. That's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more. Alright, peace.